The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, written by William Kankwamba and Brian Mealer. In a small village in Malawi, where people had no money for lights, nightfall came quickly and hurried poor farmers to bed. But for William, the darkness was best for dreaming. He dreamed of building things and taking them apart, like the trucks with bottle cap wheels parked under his bed, and pieces of radios that he'd crack open and wonder, if I can hear the music, then where is the band? His grandpa's tales of magic also whispered in the pitch black of his room. Witch planes passed through the window while ghost dancers twirled around the room, as if 100 men were inside their bodies. At dawn in the fields, William scanned the maze rows for magical beans, then wondered as a truck rumbled by. How does its engine make it go? Pay attention where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot. The boy had questions about how the engine would go. Are there things that you observe and you go, how does that go? What makes that be the way that it is? I want you to think about something like that. For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Malawi began to starve. Soon, William's father gathered the children and said, "From now on, we eat only 1 meal per day. Make it last." In the evenings, they sat around the lantern and ate their handful, watching hungry people pass like spirits along the roads. Money also disappeared with the rain. "Pepani," his father said, "I am sorry. You will have to drop out of school." Now William stood on the road and watched the lucky students pass, alone with the monster in his belly and the lump in his throat. For weeks he sulked under the mango tree until he remembered the library down the road, a gift from the Americans. I wonder what he wants to go find out in the library. He wanted to know how the truck engine worked. I wonder if he had more questions. What questions do you have that you want to find out how they work? He found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine, taller than the tallest tree with blades like a fan, a giant pinwheel, something to catch magic. Slowly he built the sentence, "Windmills can produce electricity and pump water." Do you know how the water gets into your house? He closed his eyes and saw a windmill outside his home, pulling electricity from the breeze and bringing light to the dark valley. He took what he was thinking and wondering about, and he visualized it. He made a picture of it in his head. He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground, sending it gushing through the thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green. Even when farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered, this windmill was more than a machine. It was a weapon to fight hunger. Magasi apon, he whispered. I will build electric wind. He's taking what he was wondering about, that machine, and then finding that his family needs something. Electricity, they need water. In the junkyard, pieces appeared like rusted treasures in the tall grass, a tractor fan, some pipe, and bearings and bolts that required every muscle to remove. Tonga, he'd shout to the birds and spiders, holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metals home, people called out, this boy is Misala. Only crazy people play with trash. Sounds like he had to stick with his vision. After many weeks, William arranged his pieces in the dirt. A broken bicycle, rusted bottle caps and plastic pipe, even a small generator that powered a headlight on a bike. For 3 days he bolted, banged, and tinkered, while chickens squawked and dogs barked, and neighbors shook their heads saying, what's Misala doing now? Probably still has that vision in his head of what he wants to make. So his cousin Jeffrey and his best friend Gilbert soon appeared. Moonbaba, they created. Can we help with electric wind? Grab your and follow me, he said, and took them into the forest. Together they swung their sharp blades into the trunk of a blue gum tree, then hammered them together to make the tower. Standing in the top, William shouted, bring it up, while the boys tugged and heaved. A crowd gathered below and gazed at the strange machine that now leaned and wobbled like a clumsy giraffe. Some giggled, others teased, but William waited for the wind. Like always it came, first a breeze, then a gusting gale. The tower swayed and the blades spun around. With sore hands once slowed by hunger and darkness, William connected wires to a small bulb, which flickered at first, then surged as bright as the sun. Tonga, he shouted, I have made electric wind. Wachitabwa, a man yelled, well done. As the doubters clapped and cheered, William knew he had just begun. Light could not fill empty bellies, but another windmill could soak the ground, creating food where once there was none. Magetsi Amepo, electric wind, can feed my country, William thought. He has a vision. He keeps working towards that vision. And that was the strongest magic of all. So I want you to think about what's something that you want to know how it works. Or maybe there's something that you want to make with the things you have around your house that could be helpful for your family. Enjoy.